Okay, so you brought home this adorable little labrador puppy, right?
Mhm.
And those little teeth, those needle teeth.
Sharp, aren't they?
It's like, oh, what is this? I thought I was getting a cute puppy, not a little land shark. So today, we're diving into that. Why do Labrador puppies bite so much? And how do we make it stop?
Right.
Or at least make it a little gentler?
Well, the good news is it is totally normal.
Okay.
Puppies explore the world with their mouths.
Right.
It's how they learn. Just like babies put everything in their mouths.
It's like tasting the rainbow, but for puppies, it's tasting the furniture.
Exactly. And tasting your hand.
Yes, exactly. My hand has definitely been tasted.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's curiosity, but then they also have those little teeth coming in, right?
Heaving, yeah.
So that's got to be really uncomfortable, too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Those gums are sore. They're trying to get those adult teeth in, so they need to chew on things to relieve that pressure.
Okay, so we've got curiosity, we've got the teething. Is there anything else that's unique to Labradors that might make them a little more bitey than the average pup?
Well, they are retrievers.
Right, and I remember reading something about their instincts, like how they're bred to retrieve.
Yes. Centuries of breeding have honed their natural instinct to retrieve using their mouths.
Okay,
So you combine that with those sore gums, and yeah, you're going to have a mouthy puppy.
that makes a lot of sense. So how do we teach them then? Because I read it's not about stopping the biting, it's about bite inhibition. Is that right?
That's exactly right. We want to teach them to control the force of their bite. We don't want to eliminate their instinct to mouth or bite because that's how they play. We just want them to learn to be gentle.
Right, okay. So how do we do that? How do we teach them to be more gentle?
Well, one really effective method is called withdrawal of attention.
Yes, I read about that. Tell me about that. What is that?
So every time your puppy bites too hard, and you're going to be the judge of that,
Right.
you immediately disengage, stop playing, turn away, become very boring.
So it's like a timeout.
Exactly. It's a timeout for a puppy. And that sends a really clear message. Biting equals being alone.
Okay, and it's got to be consistent, right? Like every time, no
It's every
exception.
single time. You can't send mixed signals.
Okay, so that's really helpful. So we're working on the biting. But what about all this puppy energy? Because they're little bundles of energy.
Right, right. So remember those retriever instincts.
Yeah.
Channel them. Give your Labrador puppy lots of appropriate chew toys.
Things they can really sink their teeth into.
Yes, give them an outlet for that chewing.
So are you saying that by giving them appropriate things to chew on, we can actually make those sharp puppy teeth a little less scary?
Absolutely. You'll redirect that chewing onto something more appropriate.
Music to my ears. Okay, so that's great. But are there times when we've tried all this and we're still struggling? Do we need to call in, like, the professionals?
You're right to ask that. If the biting is really severe, or if you're feeling overwhelmed, don't hesitate to reach out for professional help.
Okay.
A certified applied animal behaviorist can work with you to create a customized plan.
And you mentioned behaviorists. What makes them different from, say, a dog trainer? When should I seek out a behaviorist?
Yeah, so a dog trainer is fantastic for basic obedience, right?
Yeah.
Teaching your dog to sit, stay, come.
Right, the basics.
But a certified applied animal behaviorist,
Yeah.
they've got that extra training and education to deal with more serious behavioral issues. Like if the biting is getting worse, or maybe there's some fear or anxiety behind it.
They're like the specialists.
Exactly.
Okay, that's really helpful. So we've learned a lot today. To recap, biting, it's totally normal for Labrador puppies.
Right.
We've got to be patient. We've got to work on that bite inhibition. We talked about things like withdrawal of attention. We've got to keep them stimulated, both physically and mentally. And if we're struggling, it's okay to call in the pros. Now, here's something to think about. Knowing that they explore the world with their mouth, how can you make your puppy's world even more interesting, but in a safe way? What kind of really cool, enriching chew toys and activities can you give your puppy that will satisfy that need to chomp?
Yeah.
So that's something to think about.